Well, hello everyone. I'm starting to get excited about our beautiful Italian tour coming up to Puglia and the Amalfi Coast. I'm really looking forward to seeing you all next Saturday here at home, and we can chat about what we're going to do. It's going to be just an amazing time. I can't wait to get there to explore another part of Italy that I haven't been to yet. I was in Italy in 2016 but did Tuscany and Venice, and now exploring another part of Italy, which is, I just can't wait to get there. So I just thought I'd do a little bit of a demonstration today about these lovely Trulli houses or Trulli houses that we'll be staying in Puglia. So I just thought they're just such an unusual shape that they're a great subject for sketching in our books, and I'll just do a little quick sketch. I'll also post the photograph that I'm working from. So I haven't been there yet to take my own photographs, but I'm looking forward to it. This is just something that I've snapped off the internet, but they are quite iconic, and I think we're going to have lots of fun with these. So when I'm sketching up, I'm looking at the big shapes first. So we have one here. I don't generally sketch up first in pencil, but some people do find that a lot easier who haven't done a lot of sketching. As you go along, it's a little bit more easier to go straight into sketching in pen, but some people find that just a little bit daunting. So I'm just finding a big shape here to start with, and following those shapes there's another cone shape. It's a little bit higher, I can see over here. So when we're sketching on site, we're just trying to do it as quickly as possible. We don't always have lots and lots of time. It's a bit like working in an open air studio. Sometimes you've got the luxury of being in a cafe or somewhere that's, you know, maybe a little wine bar or something like that. But we don't actually have a studio setting usually when we're traveling overseas. So from those big shapes, I can get another shape here. And I'm just looking at the lines that I can see. These have these nice tiles on the roofs. And I'm just looking for points of interest. There's a window here. And it has a nice potted plant on the window ledge, so I'll pop that in. And you can see I'm working quite loosely, and you don't have to make a perfect drawing. It's just an impression of what you're seeing, what you're experiencing. So we have... So from that point, I can see there's another one that comes over here. It's got rather a nice little portico thing that's here, which I can use to my advantage. This is kind of where you start to get a bit lost, but really it doesn't matter too much as long as you're getting this impression of the place itself, and that's really what we're looking for when we're sketching. So it is a bit of urban sketching. There's a doorway there. Okay, and there's a gate on there. So very quick sketch. I'm not being too careful. I'm not really looking at, you know, perfection. So this was the first shape, and I'm just making sure. And now I'm looking at it again. I can see that it has a little bit of a curve. on those roof lines, so they're not straight like that. They've got a little bit of a curve. So now I can perfect that. Goes there. Nice little bit of a detail there. It's quite. I'll be looking forward to seeing these up close and seeing what is actually there. It's nothing like being there. So this is a sketching pen. It's a uni pin, fine line pen in black. I use either black or I use a sepia colour. And I do like the sepia as well. It's rather nice to use. Okay, so you can see, even though I've drawn this up in pencil, I can redefine those shapes. There's a bit of a bush here. So I can just squiggle around. Let's just put that window in. So where the window goes inside, there's a bit of an area, window ledge, pot plants. Okay. And again, I can see from the photograph that that is actually curved. So there's not a lot of straight lines. They're kind of slightly curved. And there's some beautiful stone walls, which I will just pop in there. So that's the edge of that one there. Okay, very interesting. We'll actually be staying in some of these trolley houses. I'll be looking forward to hearing if that's exactly how you pronounce that word. Took me a while to get used to. Puglia is not Puglia, it's Puglia. So I've been practicing that. Just kick me if I say the wrong thing. I'm sure someone will pull me up. So there's another bush here. So let's get in this one over here. And you can see how quickly I am working. Just working the pen in a sketchily manner. And you don't have to put every single thing in that you see. A little top on that. I actually like the looser look anyway. I prefer it quite a looser. So checking my angle, so I've gone down here. When I put my pen up against, and you could do this when you're there actually, against an angle, it's actually going the other way. So your eyes will trick you, as they do mine. So quite often I've got to put the pencil up or the pen up to get the right angle. So when we're there, look for what I'm doing. I know it's all very exciting, but if you want to do a bit of sketching, follow me, where I'm going, where I'm sitting, what I'm doing. And just watch what I'm doing, and I'm very happy to explain what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Just as I am here in this little video. Okay, so there we go. There's a bit of a pop bottom to that pot plant there. So that's how quickly I tend to sketch. Don't always have lots and lots of time. Sometimes we do have a little bit more relaxed time, and that's okay. Free afternoons and free time. It's always a good time if you're a sketcher, if you want to come out and do a bit of painting. This is the little travel set that I do use. Anyone who needs a kit, I have kits available. This is a water brush. It has a water chamber in that unscrews here, and you just fill it up through here at the start of the day. Screw it back on. You want some water down into the brush, you just squeeze this part and it comes down through the brush. Okay, so I'm looking at the sky. It's a really nice blue sky, and I'll squeeze a bit of water out, and let's just get a bit of sky in. This is a watercolor book, sketching book, specifically designed to take watercolor. If you go for another type of watercolor book, it may not work as well because it's not designed to take watercolor. So you really do need a watercolor sketchbook if you're going to be sketching on this tour. You'll thank me later, because if you don't use the correct weight of paper, or not specifically for watercolor, you'll be quite disappointed with the outcome, because it just doesn't work as well on anything lighter or that just isn't watercolor paper in your book. Okay, so that's as simply as I do. Put in a first wash of that sky, and that's probably all I will do. If I need a bit more water, I just squeeze more out and just work my brush in. Okay, I've usually got some little bits of these little tissues are quite handy to keep with you. Okay, so there's not lots and lots of colour. I'll go with the burnt umber and just start down here where I can see there's just a gutter area along here. So these little palettes are quite good for travelling. They're light, they don't take up much room. You can put them in your bag easily. And I do tend to like to use them. I just popped a little bit of blue in with that brown, the blue that I was using in the sky, and it's just graded, made it a little bit grayer. Rather than being too brown. So I've just got that bit of a path there. Okay, so you mix a bit of the blue sky with the burnt umber, you'll get more of a deeper brown. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is look at the shadows. There's a doorway there. The whole of that side actually is in shadow. It's a shading that makes the difference in watercolor. So for the light, we leave the white of the paper. So I've just escaped into the studio to do this for you. Sorry about the football playing in the background, but I thought nice time to escape and do this. A little bit of blue in the shadow, bit of shading under here, and you'll find that the shading is everything in watercolor. It's actually what makes it all make sense. Squeeze out a bit of water. It can be, just remember too that when we're outside doing a bit of sketching, it does dry off extremely quickly. So it'll dry quicker than you put it down in some cases. Okay, so let's put a little bit of blue shading over here. Got quite a dark doorway in here. See, as soon as you put that bit of blue into the brown, it goes quite dark. So this is where colour mixing from these little palettes is quite good. They're a travel palette. It's not necessarily what I use if I was doing a fine art painting, but they are perfect for working with when you're traveling. Those dark areas. Okay, so down the side of that area there, and you can see that white of the paper next to the depth of the dark areas really makes that white stand out. Okay, so I can start to go into some of these areas. I need to lighten that up a little bit. We've got a bit of yellow ochre here. And what I'm doing is, rather than just doing a block colour, is with the tip of my brush and bringing in some colour for the roof, is just making those tiles on the roof with colour and the shading. Okay, do some over here. We can go a little bit darker. I don't worry too much if I go outside the lines. It doesn't bother me at all. It's more about keeping the light That'll be Manny in the kitchen crashing around. We're having Thai beef fried rice tonight. Quite lucky, Manny does all the cooking around here. So you can see I'm just making those tiles on the roof, the little stripes going across. And I can see down one side is a little bit darker, so the light must be coming from this angle, which makes this side in shadow. So I can just run the brush down that one side to give the impression that light's hitting on the other side. Oh, look at this. I'm already feeling like I'm almost there. Oh, how exciting. So I believe that these houses are World Heritage UNESCO sites. So I'm also looking forward to learning about the history of them and why they built them this way. It's the thing that I love about travel is all those unexpected things that you learn along the way. So I've left these little areas here, and I forgot there, that doesn't matter, I can always come over that later. But there, and there, and there, I've left those white of the paper because they are white from what I can see. Okay, it's starting to look a bit like what it's meant to look like. A little bit more blue in, little bluish shadows I can see. So you don't have to put in every brick or every stone. Okay, so up to the base of that pot plant. See how quickly that happened? Some greenery. The greenery is a little bit not quite green. A little bit of red in it. Let's just do that. Mix a little bit of red in with the green. So we'll end up with a little bit of an olive colour. If you have any questions, please just say so, or you can message me, or just say so in the comments, and I'm happy to answer any questions whatsoever. If you're a first-time drawer or painter or sketcher, you'll find that working this way with a pen is probably the easiest way to start. It's quite fun to do. You don't stress too much. It's not something that has to be framed at all, although it can be worked into that later if you want. It's just a little bit of a reference of where we are. It's not a masterpiece, but really fun to do. So that's basically, you need to clean your brush out if you want to change a colour. That's basically what we do when we're sketching while travelling. You can lift out some colour if there's too much, just by releasing a bit of water onto a tissue. It's really quite easy to do. Some of the blue you can use in shadows. There's a little shadow through here. That's a French ultramarine blue. You can see I've used a bit of shadow in here. Might just make a little deal of that there. much that's it. I haven't put these little, let's just say we've got some geraniums. It's not in the photo, but I feel like having geraniums. My painting that little pop of red just makes it. Okay, the sky's not perfect. Look, that's okay. Doesn't have to be. It's just a nice little impression of the Trulli houses. And my first little painting of where we'll be going. Anyway, looking forward to seeing you soon. I'll be posting more videos, some lists on what to bring. If you need help with any of that, just let me know. I will have some basic kits available for anyone who hasn't sketched before and would like to give it a go. Don't be afraid to give it a go. It's a lot of fun. As you can see, it doesn't have to be perfect. By no means is this perfect, this little drawing and painting, but I'm still quite happy with it, and I'm sure I'll get better along the way, as we all will. Talk to you soon. Bye.